Now, here in Germany, parties have reportedly reached an agreement on plans to transform Germany's restrictive borrowing rules. The Conservative leader and likely next chancellor, Friedrich Merz, has been seeking support for a massive boost to defence and infrastructure spending. Sources say his Conservatives are hammering out the final details of an agreement with the Green Party. Together with the Social Democrats, the three parties would have enough votes for the two-thirds majority required to pass these new rules. All right, let's get more from DW's political correspondent, Matthew Moore. So it sounds like a deal is in the works, Matthew. What more can you tell us?
That's right. In the last few minutes, the likely man to be the next Chancellor of Germany, Friedrich Merz, has just arrived to talk to his MPs and to tell them the deal that he has cooked up with the Social Democrats and the Greens to basically get around 500 billion euros of extra money to spend on infrastructure. And the big sticking point throughout the last few days and the week has been the Greens, and he seems to have got the Greens on board by doubling the amount of money that they will spend on a climate transformation fund. It seems that the reports we're hearing is that figure has gone from 50 billions to 100 billions, and the Greens were really concerned about the word additional to be in these changes that were put forward by Friedrich Merz. They wanted assurances that the money on infrastructure that would be borrowed, this 500 billion euro fund, that it would be an additional 500 euros and not simply taking infrastructure spending out of the household to fund tax giveaways for the Union Party and their voters. And so it seems like we've got a deal, but I must say, Friedrich Merz has just gone in to tell his politicians what the deal is. The Green Party is talking to their politicians, and the Social Democrats are doing the same. And in an hour, we will find out more about the details of that deal, and we'll find out, hopefully, what the Green Party has to say and whether they're willing to vote for it on Tuesday.
All right. So Tuesday there would then potentially be a vote on finalising this.
That's correct. So Tuesday is the day, and now you've got to remember all of this is happening at lightning speed because Friedrich Merz, who wants to be the next Chancellor of Germany, and his Social Democrat partners, who he wants to govern with in the next Bundestag, is trying to get this through in this Bundestag because he believes he has a two-thirds majority in the old Bundestag. He doesn't have that in the next Bundestag, and that's why this is being pushed through at lightning speed, is to get it done before the next Bundestag is sworn in 2 weeks' time, around 2 weeks' time. And so that's why there's this huge pressure. Now, Friedrich Merz is saying, look, the global security situation, especially with what we just heard coming out of the White House in recent weeks, that has created this urgency. But actually, the real urgency is the fact that he does not have the votes, or it would be very difficult for him to get the votes for these measures in the next Bundestag. And so that's why we're looking at Tuesday being the deciding day.
OK, so is it even legal, though, Matthew, for Friedrich Merz, to try and change the country's constitution, the basic law, before the new parliament convenes? I mean, it's obviously very complicated, but is it legal?
Very good question. So here's the thing. Anybody can put forward legislation in the Bundestag right up until it changes, till the new members are sworn in. And that's the argument that Friedrich Merz and the Social Democrats are making, is that we have to be capable of passing laws no matter what is happening with elections in this country, that the parliament is always sovereign, the parliament is always ready to pass laws. That's his argument. Now, the opposition, the Alternative for Germany, the far-right opposition, are saying, hold on a minute, that's you're cheating democracy, and what you're doing is underhanded. You could just swear in the new parliament already and get this done with the new parliament. That would be democratically legitimate. So he faces a legitimacy question. They've taken their concerns to the Constitutional Court in Karlsruhe in Germany, and the constitutional judges will have to make that decision, and we expect a result in the coming days. But it has to happen fast because, as I say, the plan is to vote on this on Tuesday, and then we will have a result. But as I say, it's very controversial what's going on here, but the judges will have their say, Anya.
DW political correspondent Matthew Moore. Matthew, thank you so much for bringing us up to date there.